Look at that, that is our farmhouse rustic chicken, spinach and liver quiche. Look at that thing. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're going farmhouse. We're going French farmhouse. We're going chicken liver. It's got goat's cheese, it's got cheddar, it's got parmesan, mushrooms, onions. It's got a custard. We've got the chicken, we've got chicken livers, spinach. It's a real farmhouse. Now this is inspired by Roger on my Facebook group. However, this is a recipe by Bruno Albouze. Now I don't know if I said his surname correctly, but you know, fantastic French chef. He's got a channel out there, go check it out. It's not a budget meal, this. It is a really healthy, good meal, as you would expect from a traditional farmhouse meal. Okay, let's crack on. What we're going to do is just put that to one side. We'll make the custard first, get rid of it. We'll clear some of this. In here I've got some eggs. In here I've got some milk. In here I've got some cream. Now we want to be putting some salt and pepper in here and a little bit of nutmeg. This is our custard, so in there with some salt. Now what I will say about this recipe from Bruno, there is no recipe. You know, you have to subscribe to something else to actually get the recipe, but you know, it's a straightforward farmhouse quiche. So this will be very close, if not the same as, in there with some nutmeg. So I'm sorry Bruno if I've given your recipe away, but you know, this is inspired by you. In there, mix it up. This is our custard. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're just going to chuck it to one side. Like I say, that clears some space. Leave that whisk in there, we're going to need it. Okay, move this stuff. Right, what we need to be doing is rolling out our pastry, get it to blind bake, and then we've got a pastry case. This is a 9-inch springform tin. I was going to use 8 on there, some flour. So you're going to have to use whatever pastry fits your tin. This is mine, I've just made it. Probably about that much, I reckon. So give it a squidgy uppy. Yeah, that'll do it, I reckon, on there. Grab a pin and let's get rolling. Now we're rolling it out to that, up the sides. Come on, common sense. Oven on, 190. We've got to blind bake this. Now, I'm going to make it rustic. It's a farmhouse. Don't have to neaten it all off. Anything, and you can do as thick a pastry as you like, you know, but bearing in mind it's got to cook. I want a true rustic farmhouse quiche. That's looking like to me. In there. In there. So just bring it all the way up to the top. Nice and steady around there, look. There you go. Right, we need to dock it. That means stab it all over with a fork. I'm using baking beads today. Now, I've left it up here like this. I'm hoping it's not going to shrink too much. Okay, line out your pastry case like that. Tip in whatever you want. Like I say, I'm using baking beads. Now it could shrink in. It's going to be a rustic farmhouse. That in the oven. In the oven we're going to blind bake about 15 minutes. Okay, whilst that's going on in there, we can actually prep this chicken. In your pan, a little bit of butter. Splash that with a little bit of olive oil. Whiz that round that pan. In there, a little bit of garlic. Using garlic again in a minute. We're not going to cook off this garlic as such, you know, just a little whiz on there like that. In there with that spinach. Want to wilt this spinach down I'm going to give it a squeeze. Now you can put on a lid to steam it if you want, but it's going to wilt anyway. So just give it a little stir around. Still going to cook off even if you put a lid over. Now what I've done, I've cubed up some potatoes and I've parboiled them. Okay, they're on behind me. Okay, now this comes out and we're going to give it a squeeze when it cools down. So that comes out of there. Keep your pan going, in there with some butter. Little splash of olive oil. Give that a little whiz round. In there, onions, a little bit of salt on there. Let's have those wilted down, moisture gone. Come on. Now you can do this any which way you want. You could cook off the chicken first. I'm cooking the veggies and putting it to one side. So you could do the chicken livers, and then you could use the same pan, put the onion, mushrooms, so on. It doesn't matter really. We want a cool filling, so it doesn't matter which way around you do it. Just caramelize those a little bit. A little bit of colour's not going to do any harm on this one. Once you've had about 12 minutes on there, we need to be getting those baking beads out and chuck it back in for another 5. So be careful you don't get burnt. Get that back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Come on. Clear yourself a space in there with your garlic. Cook off that garlic a little bit. In there, some more butter. In there, your mushrooms. Nice golden on these. Come on. So we're just trying to put a little bit of golden on these mushrooms and just cook out a little bit of that moisture. Obviously we're going to have to try and keep quite a lot of moisture out of it because we're adding a custard. A nice little bit of colour on there, come on. Okay, your quiche base out of the oven. That wants to cool down. Okay, we're just going to knock that off a minute. We don't want that. I'm going to chuck that in a bowl. Like that. That pan's going back on there. Our spinach. Okay, we've just pan fried this, but what you're going to see is a lot of moisture. Squeeze out the juice. We don't want that. Chuck in with our mushrooms and onions. So we got all that come out of there. A little bit of olive oil. Season up your chicken breast. A little bit of salt and pepper. Chicken breast in there. Nice steady little cook on the chicken breast. Now you could make this a whole lot easier by using ready cooked chicken. Just slice it up, chuck it in. And obviously the other way around, you could slice this and just cook it sliced. Not a problem. Cooking it this way, it's going to be a little bit more moist. Okay, we can start our livers off. Liver 3 minutes each side, roughly. So in there. Turn over those beautiful livers, look. Livers out of there, we've got a lovely bit of colour on there, look. Cooking done. Okay, we want to be slicing our meat, our livers, our chicken. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful pink there. Absolutely fabulous. Chicken, same. We want some slices of chicken going on inside there. Okay. There we go. Let's get it put together. Come on. Bring back in our base. In there, cheddar. Now what's going to happen is this cheddar is going to melt and it's going to seal the bottom. Some goat cheese, come on. A little bit of our mix in there. We want to be mixing a little bit in, dot round the goat cheese, and then what we'll do is we'll just fill it up with a lot more. So get that in there. Take our spinach mushroom mix, chuck in our chicken and our livers and give that a stir around. Just give it a mix up, fully incorporate it in there, look like that. And in there. In our custard mix we want a pinch of herb de Provence. Mix up our custard and our custard in there. Top over with some parmesan and then whack this in the oven. In the oven about 35 minutes. Chuck in your potatoes, which I forgot, in there. Doesn't matter, come on. In we go. How clumsy of me to forget that. Eh? In there, potatoes. Now we haven't forgot. Over there, a bit more parmesan. Well, that's a good reason to get some more cheese in. There you go. So there you go, it happens to all of us. We forgot the potatoes, but they're in. Come on, in the oven. Okay, when you've had your time, let's have that out of there. On there. That's nicely set up there, look, got a little bit of a squidge going on, that's fine. Let it cool down, and then we'll cut a slice. Come on. Take off our rustic crust if you don't want it. Look at that, that is our farmhouse rustic chicken, spinach and liver quiche. Look at that thing. That is absolutely sensational. Come on, we need to get in and get a slice. Come on, we're in. Just look at that. That is absolutely spectacular. Oh, come on, we can't let it cool down completely, can we? Come on, let's get in here. Nice pastry. Oops, nice pastry. We got that spinach in there. Oh, come on. In we go. Potato, spinach, onion. Oh, chicken, liver. Oh man, that is phenomenal. Oh, that is so rich. That's so rich, it's delicious. Oh, got that goat's cheese in there, parmesan, you got the cheddar at the bottom, you've got the chicken in there, potatoes that we nearly forgot. Let's mash it up, come on. There's our chicken, mushrooms, there's our liver. Oh man, look at that, perfect. Oh yeah. Oh, that is delicious. That is high quality right there. Look at it all. Liver, potatoes, chicken, spinach. Oh, we got that herbs de Provence in there. It's absolutely superb. That is delicious. Oh, I'm going to let that cool down completely. That is going to be superb. Well, there you go. And look underneath. Perfectly cooked. Not a problem. Let's bring that in here so you can have a look. That is a fantastic farmhouse chicken spinach liver quiche. Look at that. And in there we've got goat's cheese, we've got cheddar, we've got the parmesan on the top. We got, oh, it's just phenomenal. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends, tell them how easy it is to make this. And if you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Oh, and we'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah, that is sensational.